Yeah, it's been a while. So this is the Courage to be Repulsive fragments after Claude Cahun, who was a surrealist artist and writer and a queer resistance fighter. They built this body to house a false haunting. The heart is irrational oracles, is the soft mort that murmurs on itself, says, I am the obsession, I am the solution, an eavesdropper, a vestal fake, cavorting in tall disorders the tongue, an ulterior poet pretends, sadistic and comic, to be more than a relic remaindered in sheets. I hang my own face over the mirror, wake ready, mouthing my funerary motives, my finery. This body is a machine, reproduces bland endearments in a monotone, walk into a room, see their lubricated gaze slide over me, crown me, imperative and sentimental flowers. Industrious supplication for the welfare of the living. Nail yourself to church doors, milagros, tomata, arms and eyes silvering to severance. Be a Byzantine mammal, their most flagrant idol. If the miracle arrives, a stale farce, I won't be at fault. Making my icy devotions the halo a cage that encircles my head. It can't be called courage if it isn't a choice. Say instead my inordinate metal. If I am a mermaid, brackish siren, my gills are razor sharp. I exceed my mistake. I survive my sentence, silly zoo. I scandalize the uniform you slip on me. Sometimes I dream of vixen stiletto corrections, the doomed no comment of my titless chest, little vanquished factory, little upturned boat. The light pokes holes in my sordid organs. I am burning up, my ether faint, my wasting cure. I fall out of my body, straight down. Masks intend not to disguise, but to punish, not to bury, not to praise. Dear one, you are out there walking toward the light. My gloves become a nursery for grasping fingers. I am gold, I am marble, I am grey. Even today, these bodies wax wrong. Routine strangers, recalcitrant committees, the one that got away from the one who got away. 2. My weeds, my flowers, my nonchalant enemy. Swastikas, the armband pimps its broken black propeller, turns bagging hooks toward Europe. Night scent, monsters, old stars squared, the void breath we exchange in drowning love. Europe, your dappled remains, a blue sea insipidly. We are furtive hands, the subtle tarot of mutual doom, what bodies might become, passing fear through a photograph, eking, falsely opened, and come to a clean shame kissingly. Troubled serpent, my body a long, tractable bone. And Sophie Skull's face stretched across a t-shirt. And Sophie Skull's face a torn j'accuse. What did you do, poet? Wrote, fucked, hid in plain sight that sea, some azure custom morning, and me on the white cliffs slipping my jib from me. Didn't I tell you the bluebirds are over, little arrows of desire, renouncing their wings? All the single ladies, all you heads on spikes. The mirror's bitter, cloudy milk. These weeping acts of flat havoc we surrender again and again in dawn's weak masturbator's grip. The guillotine edits smilingly. See shackled hands return to the piano. Poet's eye, little studio. Poet's tongue, province of corrupt exits, the darling narcissi we treat as weeds. How could I be so, heads you lose, reckless under a using sun? Between us a dare, a persuasion of robes, whether sea wraps you, my perfect missiles of desire. Missiles. Small desire, the width of a minute's silence, but deadly. I scrape a plaque of names from my teeth. Your secret name is a fold in the diaphragm, fold in my favorite beholding, a strategic crease in a photograph cutting us clean in two. Not, in fact, the fondant center of my soft admiring, but a horn of skin, a rasp of flesh, calyx forcible and veiled, something closes the throat, bonbon, bon mot, with a core of rotten caramel. A memory of myself, my slickly palpitating sin. Something is drawing me in with a hard, crooked laugh, all their gilded come-hithers, wasting now. War makes desire obscene, perversion necessary. A glass needle under the skin, magnified and fragile, you cannot soothe with salvation alone, Christ's calamine, impossible intensity. Strike the eye in the ruin of its rut and into a great light walking. The world is stubbornly over, insociable, repetitive finale. Finale, rack, tree. Lifeless living. A wolf crying, long-legged literalists, art redefined as ant farm, as powdered milk, as a mildly white baby, keep slouching toward Bethlehem, cattle to the car. There were boots on the ground, only worse, a cold procedural wind from the west, bodies in the bay, so many wincing informers. Campaign Puritans, the wreck of those fire-mantled armies, kids pleading the price of bread. The neighbours talk, the churches take dictation, our Father, as if care could make the dead care. The greenwood rectified by fire, the righted Ireland sweet and hungry fire. Dear friends, your hedges are burning. Carry the news to your mountain. The world is a light, a lie. Meet November roaring and with earnest games. November scrawled in our mockingbird journals. This feeling folds reprieve and loss so tenderly. My hand in yours, your skin smells lightly of rust. The world is full of men, loafing and pining, husbands, those dismal buddies of whom we shall never be free. Refigure the week for work, for sesame tasks in headscarves, the wavering past each passing wave, this very velvet circling love, a smoother ache on horseback fleeing. The evil that men do, a manhole phrase meaning not very much. You are my captain amid solar flares and sextants returning. We will know. Old women have bodies too. My body, the thinking shape of flame. Statue by the lake of Perseus and Medusa. The and is wrong. Me, a name I call myself. The status of a severed head. With men, the and is always wrong. These twilights fade as form. I hang from his fist by my hair. I balance his wrist like a falcon. So his mind is a tundra of green bays, sparring hawks, scattered clouds, gentle fires, women, witless and effacing, my bulletproof failures. I cannot meet the eyes of country wives. I meet instead the sea in its most stilling cold. Gulls traverse her black ascent like pale white flowers, like laundered weeds. Graffiti on the beach. Jesus Death Visit, repent.org, some www. 4. I might blow away in the wind. A cordless leaf, elliptical exchanges on the hermit side of the bay. Death is a driftwood shack, a chalky walls, samphires on pantly shadows lengthening legend, where the saltwater hobo died. Contemplate scoria, abyssal gravel, the solstice straying over an empty cove. I too am pomace, hollowed by heat and a volatile air underground thrown toward crossroads. When the sky was shuttered, the sea wall chases its concrete tail. Lips sucked, shrewd reconnaissance. Take aim at a numb hotel. Point yourself at his stewed tea. The hard same seeming day, daggers drawn. There's a signal lost between bands, the present, the past, and nobody screams, fuck off back to Antioch with my gold dissenting epithets. These beggars' nettles cling to me. The future is a mud sun rising over this beach forever, a creature in reverb, in recoil, in angular withdrawal across the shingle and the sand. I am happy. Do not laugh. Cormorant, a fisher of returns, and the lustered oil of her, a small wonder against the light. I carry this second face inside of me, this peaked escapist rose, and into even the bone-shaving dark when continents take cloak and coins turn their frightful profiles toward the wanting realm. Small abacus of war. Tottingus kissing figures, their names slides down my tongue like a knot in a rope. Dragging my cancelled voice, my great impediment. A man walks into a bar, but it isn't a bar, and it isn't a man. Through slackened strangers, the dregs of their regard guttering in glasses, his voice like a German uppercut buzz of voices, a spider's web, a static attractor, the forensic embrace of gun emplacements, battlements, historic scare quotes frame a nation. They say they parade, these men are always saying, and the seething the eerie of flags. Little land, ports and zones, proletarian spoils of political grief, soldiers, that choir of gagging nerve, infantry of gaudy quickness crushed that bonhomie, walked into windfall, a quivering field, little land, moon-moulded, mouthed to an embarrassment of battlefields. Their boys come back as monuments, their stone eyes not vacant but averted, yet I am happy, and the pale zodiacs of my grief are soluble in distance, in sunburn and desire. 5. Our dead rivers blacken the satellites, like ambergris swabbing a model's wrist. This is the world, sickly and sinister. Here, where only misers thrive, I multiply myself. Each time doubled and divided, smaller and smaller, never enough of me to go round. Morning is the sky resets softly through a humid rain, and England rises up, all reeds, refrains and rations. Is a lead knell sounding, they come with mealy mimes, a smile turned crisp at the corners, Kozenku, a coop, come to kettle our peasant antic, us fetter folk of cancelled sex, disputed blossoms slay the boundary wall, flounced and floundering, nothing less. They script crusade these patriots, bland aphorisms of intent with mouths like penny bruises. We cross and countercross their dowagers and Fauntleroys, their race of moony spivs, cued loonies, waiting in the wings for war's Royce pudding mottos. England blooms under sackcloth, loving fungus, smother us all, mother to us all. Her sundial seas, Europe assuaged in her sarabands, a furtive and a lemur over empire, carry this love. To set is to sink, to turn to stone. Claude, I see you strutting through these lame domains, betting beyond the body. The soldiers arrived, pressed terror into punctuation, our language made misfit with injury. Our occupation, Claude, murder work for idle hands, those lovely graveside thugs, the call that turns my telephone inside out. Death notices. Oh yes, he does. Claude, I have mastered my trespasses, bared my breast, my body is sleeping bestiary, error is interstice, the bowl is dispossessed of honey. They should see us, our arms bent back like careful, painful birds to stuff this flesh with borrowed shrapnel, make ourselves more monster, the womb scraped out, singing with the wind, its sad, dumbfounded function. They posit wounds and pity us. We are more than a fissured tease, drowned in the room that draws us. Neither is not neuter, my dear, we are tickets of extremes. my wrist ringed like a pigeon's leg. You come to me in dreams, dressed in gold foil, dressed in halting triage and units of acute care and casualty and smoke. Wake to an annex roof mobbed with gulls, their pasteurized fury, clamant and eeling caper. Wake to the moi non plus of somebody's city perfume, disgusting breath assemblies, Brits. Dawn will be a Vaseline smeared Emmanuel movie, channeling the shit je t'aime of somebody. Some sow crows in this open field. Become a hyena, an animal left ajar. Here, infested and grandiose, the colonies smoke their celebration with racked lungs, the lighthouse vaguely beaconing. The foghorn lifts its stroked baritone towards France, tidal gloom, and kids in their stylized pain stalk past. We were grim voyagers. I walked my own face from my face in slapdash mascara in 99. The sunk lyric, the subcutaneous heart, the pen poised but unable to ink, a neo-Nazi's fist romancing my lip. It's hard. We have won, but I have lost. Defeat festooned in flags of glowing spectrum, a quipping ache. Love's recall razored from the page and moored outnumbered, the light bulb laureled with all our bright ideas when art is a failed milk rearing nothing. When I've no more words, no more masks, when the mask wins by a landslide. Last one. Who the fuck are you? Says Claude. Houses concussed with bunting. I got the pounds. I operate the dream. The body's equivocal creep, our outermost appetites passionate reese, the musk of multitude where our solidarity, queer, on inevitable edge. Like amorous snails, our bodies slide over bodies and are disgusting. Piles of cancelled paperbacks, the wet book of our lungs drowned. Country people default to honeysuckle, indolent and infected. High winds walk the magpies into mutilation, magpiles of flux of muddy feathers, fox evil enough to conjure with. Rush map my body, their earthly textile. O Norn, O Arn, O piggy packs of murder. Forgive me my hinterland as I forgive those who go open-mouthed aghast against us. Can we ever be more than got in the way? Whose war is this? Our unformed faces, abstract and hatchling. The brain is a secret garden paved with all your pyrrhic victories. And the slow amends of fences, small rhymes soiled. Be the lyric eye, exploding over driveways. The whole thing tarmacked with quarrelsome rainbow. Puny dirt makes nothing grow. No flowers for your loyalist bar of bones. Claude says, give it up. Do not waste my love on those who translate feeling into tendency, sweating out the mildewed substance of this sunshine belonging nowhere and to no one. You were so beautiful, and formally glittering, a mischief's deadly undertaking, you, and beating the white of a word into stiff peaks. Sweet state spreading like a green fact, these black box lilies, where the suicide slips into the topsoil, the silky protestations, big men expanding the pleasantry until the air turns blue. And baby, the rind of you, the sheen on you. We eat our invention, 1001 survivalist ploys. Thanks.